Hi, I'm Karen Large from Flute in a Few, and I'm also a flute professor at Florida State University. This is the teaching video for the 2020-2021 Florida All-State 7th and 8th grade middle school band flute technical excerpt. Before you watch this, take a second to visit fluteinafew.com to get the handout that goes with this excerpt. I've also got a performance video of the excerpt, and both links are below. First, a disclaimer. The ideas in this video are mine alone and do not represent the Florida Music Educators Association. The big idea in this excerpt is to strive to keep a light character with the technique, support, breath control, and dynamics you need. Because this is a technical excerpt, it's important to take time to learn the notes. The excerpt is in B-flat major, so warm up on your B-flat major scale and arpeggio. The required tempo is quarter note equals 112. I like to start at 40 and work my way up very slowly to 112. This gives your fingers the time to develop muscle memory. I've included a tempo chart in the handout that I mentioned earlier, so you can just fill out the day and then put a check mark every time that you've completed the next tempo. Keep your fingers close to the keys, and it's important to do all of the dynamics and articulations at slow tempos so that when you go to a faster tempo, playing with expression will be second nature. Dynamics. Because there aren't very many written dynamics, you will need to add some. I recommend the following extra dynamics. Measure 1 through 4, keep the forte dynamic. Measure 5 through 8, mezzo piano, kind of like an echo. Measure 9 is mezzo piano, measure 11 is mezzo forte, and measure 13 is forte. Breath control. You should always have at least 20% of your air left in your lungs when you take a breath. The breaths that I think are required are the end of measure 4, before the 6 slurred 16th notes in measure 8, before the 6 slurred 16th notes in measure 12. If you can't make it with just those 3 breaths, there are some optional breaths you can take as well. The end of measure 2, the end of measure 6, before the 6 slurred 16ths in measure 10, and before the slurred 16ths in measure 14. Don't forget to engage your support muscles. This makes the breath go farther. So what is support? Support is when your ab muscles, your sides, and your back muscles engage whenever you take a big breath. So if you take a big breath and hold it for a second, you'll feel those muscles tighten. That's support. But the thing is, if you don't turn it on and keep it on as you blow out, it collapses. So keep your support turned on all the time when you play. And mental training. Be sure to do proper mental training before your audition to set you up for success. Did you know that mental training is 50% of your audition? Maybe more. Think of a challenging audition situation. Perhaps you have to play really early in the morning, or maybe your heart rate is going to get really fast. Maybe you won't be able to take as deep of a breath. You can make these scenarios happen now as you're practicing so that you can get used to it. Maybe play at 7 in the morning, or run some stairs and then play, or take the piece super slow so you can feel what it feels like to be running out of air. And then you can get better and better at that, so you're training for it. You need to play for as many people as possible. The way people get better at auditioning is by practicing auditioning. Record yourself and listen back objectively. What that means is when you listen back, pretend like it's someone else and you're making comments about someone else. Finally, develop a phrase or a mantra for each of your excerpts that reminds you of how you play when you play your best. I'm so proud of you for taking this step and auditioning for All-State. Good luck. My very best wishes to you.